Hello everyone, we're back again with another unboxing slash review. Today we've got Archer Super Movable Edition. Oh my god, it was hard to track this guy down. This is like one of the last couple of Fate Nendoroids that I don't yet have, and I managed to find a cool guy on Facebook who was like, yeah, I'll do it for $100, as opposed to all the insane people on eBay who were like, haha, $200 or more. Which is insane. There's no way in heck I'm gonna buy something that expensive if it's just one Nendoroid. But sadly, like the last couple that I'm after as well are at that exact same price point. I think all that's left is Astolfo, Arthur in his like white rose dress suit thing, and Rider Medusa. That's all that I've got left. Also, cool little tidbit inside the box here is a backdrop for Unlimited Blade Works, which is pretty cool. I don't imagine I'll be using it, but hey, it's a nice little neat extra touch. So, of course, this was owned by someone before, but thankfully he's taken care of it pretty well, and all the pieces are still intact. Get the box back together. There we go. Okay, so we have usual arm thing. We have spare neck joint. Nothing too crazy. What do we have for the instructions? So it's a very simple Nendoroid, if I'm being honest, despite its ridiculously high value price. Probably because it's it's out of production. As well as everyone loves Archer. Main character right there. Let's crack him open. Okay, so we've got the usual base, nothing too fancy. Alright, and then we've got a standard blank expression. And then we've got, what are these hand pieces? I guess these are the hand pieces for holding weapons, I would say, these ones are. And the ones he's currently got on are probably to hold the bow and arrow, I would assume. Let's take a look at him. So, of course he is the Super Movable Edition, which means he's got a bunch of joints and can move super easily. Let's see how they work. So, that moves like that. You've got the arms that bend. Of course, you can twist the arm. The hands itself. Does your torso move much? Okay, torso is on a ball joint. Good to know. The legs are also on joints, like a lot of the newer Nendoroids are. And then, of course, you can bend the joints as well itself. Oh gosh, how do I get you back in, Archer? Let's push. There we go. Nice and easy. Alright, let's put you back real quick. So we've got his standard normal bow that he uses all the time to shoot random things at people. Then we've got this arrow. What the heck it was, I do not remember. I don't think it was anything special. Then we've got this kind of blade that he uses as an arrow as well, and he kind of pulls it back and it gets thinner before shooting out, which is really cool. And then of course we've got his two trace-on weapons, which Shiro also learns how to do during the anime. Very cool. I don't remember what their names were, but one's light, one's dark, and it's of course got that pattern on the black one, which is nice and neat. Let's get those back in. I think I put them in the wrong order. Oh well. But yeah, let's get on to some poses. That's everything in the box. Box is looking super cool there. Might be a cool idea to display him in that after all. I'll figure it out later. But let's get on to some poses. Alright, so here is our first pose. Good lord, it took a while to get him to kind of look sort of right. If you look at this side, he looks not really like what the picture does. I'm sure there's a way to get it like that, but I reckon you have to be like super perfect about where each joint is bent. Plus, if you look like head on, he's not really aiming straight. He's kind of just, it's going to the side a little bit there, instead of looking where he's going. But as long as you're aiming it like this, or like posing him like this, then it's fine. It looks sort of normal then. But I don't plan on using this pose anyway. It kind of sucks though, because like Archer's super rare. You'd think they'd put in maybe a bit more effort into him to get everything just perfect, but there's a lot of like nitpicks I've got for him. Like, he falls apart crazy easily. Like, this middle joint thing here, it doesn't really bend him in any direction. It just kind of keeps him together, but since it's so tiny compared to like the rest of his body, he kind of just falls off it every now and then. I'm sure it's not a problem if you've got him displayed or once you've like left him alone, but just putting him together is kind of a pain, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well, what can you do? We didn't make it. Good Small, what are you doing? I do have like a Saber Super Movable edition on the way. Whenever shipping starts up again in Japan, it's the shiny metal version. So I'm hoping she's a bit better than Archer over here. I think it was made after Archer, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's it for this pose. Let's oh, I guess you could swap the arrow out actually. Let me pull out the other arrow. It would essentially be the same thing, just with this arrow instead. So I'll skip out on that pose and just do two for this video. But there is actually just a hole in the hand over there where you slot whatever arrow he's going to use in there, and then you're good to go. But yeah, that's going to do it for that pose, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, real quick, just before I go into the next pose, I actually noticed something a little interesting about Archer's arms here, which is probably why I screwed up the last pose. So there's actually some joints in his shoulder blade here, so if you push down on it, it like changes the position of where his arm kind of rests. So I don't know how well this is going to come out. Let's see. Come on, focus. There's some kind of joints in there. So you just, you push up on the arm, it rests at the top. You push down on the arm, it rests at the bottom. So maybe that's what I was supposed to do. So that's a interesting design choice over there. But yeah, let's move on to the next pose. Alright, here is our very final pose for Archer. Bump the camera for it. Let me move that back. There we go. So he's got his two trace-on weapons on. He's looking cool as heck, and he was a pain in the ass to pose. Good lord. For something that's called super movable, he is the hardest thing I've ever had to pose. It was kind of a nightmare. Like, he kept falling off his little thing in the middle of his torso, and his legs kept moving every time, and oh, it was a nightmare. But after many attempts, I've finally gotten him into a pose that I like and think is cool. It shows off both swords, as well as he's kind of at an angle, and you know how I love angles. So overall, he looks fantastic. Like, the joints aren't very noticeable. They're actually well blended. Unless you're like really looking for them, you probably won't notice. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Let's go on to the review portion though. So let's see. Because of that middle torso bit, I'm gonna absolutely take off 1 point for that alone. The fact that he's not easy to pose, I'm gonna take off 2 points, because kind of super movable. Aren't you supposed to be easy to pose? And we'll also say that that extra point there is for the price tag on Archer sadly being crazy high. So if you're looking to get him, try find someone who actually has him rather than like searching up on eBay or something. Maybe you'll get lucky and find a person near you who's got it cheap and isn't crazy, which would be ideal, like I did. So overall, I feel like I should be giving him a 6. Like, I know I said I'll take off 3 points, but I'm going to take off 1 more just because he's kind of got a lack of stuff that goes with him. Although he is super posable, yeah, you've got different poses. The arrow pose is essentially the same thing, regardless of which arrow you've got. And then he's only got 1 faceplate, so Yeah, I think I'll take off 4 points altogether. So, yeah, Archer, although you are cool looking and very rare and hard to find, I'm gonna have to give you a 6. So unless you really, really like the Fate series, or you're crazy like me and you're trying to collect all of them, which I've almost done, then I'd probably pass over Archer, although he does look really cool, but I guess up to you. So yeah, Archer gets a 6 out of 10. But yeah, that's going to do it for this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have a couple more Nendoroid videos lined up. I've got a return for Mikasa because her neck joint was broken. That's just arrived today. So I'll be able to put that out pretty soon as well. I've got Ed, L, and Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist. So we will have a couple more videos. By the time this goes up, I should have 2014 Snow Miku. I'll probably do a video on her first just because I really like her design. As well as, what else was I getting? Ash and Pikachu, or Satoshi and Pikachu. I should have John d'Arc, and I think there was one more, but I'm probably forgetting it. But who will? Oh well, we'll figure it out later. I've been contacting a lot of people through Facebook Marketplace, and they've been kind enough to give me some decent prices. So hopefully we'll be having quite a few videos coming soon. But yeah, keep an eye on the channel for that. Turn on notifications because you never know when I'm going to upload at this point, so you don't want to miss it. And subscribe if you haven't already, because a lot of you people seem to be searching me up somehow and not subscribing. But we'll have lots more videos, so if you're into this kind of thing, stick around. I basically have every single Fate Nendoroid stuck in Japan, so whenever that gets here, if you're a Fate fan, it's gonna be a good time indeed. But yes, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, bye!